Hey everyone, so now that I know you've watched the welcome video, now we are going to go through the orientation module, and I'm going to show you some things in the class, and this will be the first thing you'll be watching that will help you guide you through for the entire summer session. And so I look forward to you learning and growing and being able to follow the directions. And again, this is your resource too. The modules that are there for orientation are things you can refer back to whenever you want to go back and get them. Uh, so let me pull out of here and come in and show you what it'll look like when you come into the class. Now you'll see classes that don't belong to you here. This is my space on Canvas, but your class in here is this one here. And what'll happen is it'll populate on your Canvas site, and that's where you'll click in to access the course. So what happens is when you click in, I don't know how familiar all of you are with Canvas. I would assume you are, but if you're not, we do have trainings for Canvas, and certainly I can help you, but we have people here on campus who are also available to help you. So this is what we call our course homepage. And I always like to put up interesting or controversial uh, picks here. So this one shows democracy sold, and it shows basically how money has controls our democracy because the people in Congress basically, a lot of them, get money from corporations to continue running for office, but rich people don't, and corporations don't give money for free. They give it because they want something in return. And so the money that they get from those folks is more important than us most of the time, unfortunately. So this is where you start. Yeah, there's me. Um, and this will take you right into the module. And so you can actually, I think what I'm going to do is add a jumper here down at the bottom, but you can also just go over here. And I'll just show you real quickly on the side over here, the things that you'll see are these first few things here. You don't see the things below. These are things that are just strictly for me. Matter of fact, let me go to the student view. That probably would make it easier for you to see what's going on. This will probably help you even a little better. Um, so you'll see here, so there's assignments, there's modules, if there's announcements, the announcements that you saw it on mine, but because I haven't sent one yet, that's why you don't see it here, but it will once I send one out to you. Your grades are set up in here. Uh, if you need tutoring, we have tutoring access. The library database is here. So there's a few things in here that will help you as you navigate the class. But the main ones you'll be focused on are the modules, your assignments, which will also be in the modules, and you'll be able to check your grades. Now remember, if things are open till the end, or you haven't completed stuff, I'm not going to be grading until I get closer further down. I won't be grading early on because usually people are, taking their time through it. We will double check and make sure that if things are happening, we'll try to get them graded for you. But usually I wait toward the bit near the end to do those things. But if you need help or want to know how you're doing, just shoot me an email and I'll be happy to do that. And the way you'll email me is just go to the inbox over here and just shoot me an email through the message this way, and then it'll get right to me. Okay. Or you can call me or shoot me a text through the phone number that's on the syllabus you'll be seeing shortly. Okay, I'm going to try and do this a little bit quickly because I know it can get long if I let it. So let me jump into the modules here and show you the heart and soul of the class. Now, I will tell you, we've been trying to get on Canvas to try to make this a little more interesting and visually engaging. It's not yet, but we're working on it. So first thing you'll see in here is the welcome. The video's uploading, so by the time I open this up to you, you'll actually see the link in here, and it'll be a welcome video. I'll probably send it all out to you as well, so you'll have two ways to access it. But this is where you'll start, and then you'll do the attendance check-in. And this is really important because you need to do this like right away, even though I give you some little bit of time. Do this ASAP because for a couple of reasons. One is we have people there's always people who don't belong in the class, who are trying to get in, who try to get into the computer system illegally. So the attendance check-in allows me, for those who are verified to be in the class, it tells me that you're planning to stay in the class is what it tells me. So make sure you do the attendance check-in. It's really simple. You click on it, you go in here, you say start assignment. And when you say start assignment, all you type is here and then click submit. That's it. You just type, literally, you type. You don't have to capitalize, just put HERE or something like that, and then you're good to go. Or hi or whatever, and then you just click submit. And then when you do that, you're good to go. That's all you have to do. It takes a few seconds and it goes, yay. Okay. So not a big deal. But do it right away. Do it in the first day if you can, I would say. Unless you're not sure you're going to stick with the class, then you don't have to. But if you plan to know you're going to stick with the class for the 5, 6 weeks, then definitely do it. Um, then my office hours Zoom link. So if you ever do want to meet with me, and again, the office hours are by appointment. So if you say, hey, can we meet a certain time? I'll say sure. Then all you do is click on here, and it'll take you right into my appointment time, and you just click on the Zoom link here, and it'll take you right into the Zoom room. Okay. All right. And don't be afraid to press the buttons. You can't break anything in here. I've got it so you can't break it. So don't worry about it. And then again, the first week is your course orientation. So you have no required assignments other than the couple things I'm going to show you, which are basically, again, doing the attendance check-in. And there's one other thing I'll show you in a second that I want you to do the first week, and the rest of it is just getting things ready for yourself, getting your textbook situated, and all those things. Uh, I don't have to go into all these things. This is my bio. It tells you a bit about me, the professor, and who I am and what I do, and all those kind of things. You'll see that in here. And this is important. This is the orientation to-do list. It kind of tells you what to do. So by Saturday, the first week, this is the 15th, make sure you review the module, complete the online readiness tutorial, which is just reviewing the stuff in the module. Make sure your computer's up and running. I know a lot of students try to do all this stuff on their phones. Yeah, I would say that's not a really necessarily a good idea because a lot of things on the phone don't work nearly as well as they do on a real computer. But if that's the way you have to roll, then go ahead and do that. But as much as possible, try to do your work on a computer or laptop or a tablet or something. And then again, you have to post your getting to know. This is the assignment you'll see shortly, but it's you have to post to your getting to know each other. So you're going to basically introduce yourself to the class. That's it. Okay. All right. So that's just a quick smattering of information. Again, this first orientation is just again to orient you, so you get comfortable with the class, know where to find things, know where your resources are. The academic calendar is just the IVC's calendar, and it just shows you what the days that we have that are, since we're an online asynchronous class, this doesn't really pertain to you, but if we were live, like when we get down here to to the summer 24, you would know that Juneteenth would be a holiday if we had a live class, and then also 4th of July would be a holiday as well. But if you're taking live classes at IVC, those are the two dates that you will not have to worry about doing things. Now, remember, this doesn't quite pertain to you because this is a dual enrollment class. It starts on the 10th, not on the 17th. These are the regular IVC classes that start on the 17th. And so we end on the 18th of July. The regular session ends on the 25th. Okay. Some people get confused by that. So I wanted to just kind of make that clear to you. Okay, and then the important dates for the summer. This is important. I'm going to make sure you take a look at this so you know what the dates are for certain things. And this is put out by our admissions and records. And basically, it talks about the dates. So, for example, for residency, for classes begin. And this again this is based on the regular session, not on your session. So things do change a little bit. This just shows you some of the due dates, deadlines for certain things. So make sure that you know when there are due dates and when the deadlines are for adding, dropping, things like that. Okay. And again, because this is an earlier session, there may be another date in there for due dates for certain things. I'll try to find out. If I do, I'll load it up in here. But if not, you can also double check with the appropriate people to find out if it's, what from the counseling, what the due dates are for certain things or admissions and records at IVC. The course roadmap is basically the last page of the syllabus, and I will take you here because if you just want to quickly know what's due every week, you can see here week one is just basically it's the orientation and getting to know each other. Week two tells you what's due here, which is chapter 1, chapter 2, um, and so forth. But I'll show it to you further in detail at one of the other sites. But this just gives you a roadmap for the 6 weeks of the class. And I don't know why it's doing this. It looks a little bit wonky, but I'll see if I can clean that up for you because it doesn't look that way when I see it. Okay. Again, let me keep moving along here because I know people get easily distracted and I don't want to bore you to tears. Let's see. So contacting me, of course, the easiest way to contact me is just to call me, either email me through the inbox over here, as I mentioned. You can call me if you need to, and there's my phone number is listed. So if you go here, for example, you'll see it in here. And we have a particular app that we use for this, and it's called Ring Central. And if you call my phone number, my office number, it'll ring through to my cell phone. So here's the number right down here, 760-355, blah, blah, blah. That's my number that it'll ring through. And you can text me through there as well. So there's lots of ways to reach me through there. Okay. And then there's some student resource information. So for all different types of things that students need, there's a video on various resources that are available to you that I've put in here. Of course, attendance, you don't have to worry about any of this stuff, classroom stuff. None of this stuff applies to you because we're not in a class. The online etiquette stuff is important, and you'll see that in the syllabus. So, and all this, the other information is also part of that, but there's stuff on disabled students and all those kinds of things are also in here as well. Veteran centers in here, EOPS, things like that. They're all in here, your rights and responsibilities. Okay. All right. And then, so I broke it into two segments. The first one is kind of general information. This gets to more specifics because, as you know, the mention about the textbook, you do need to try to get it in that first week, or at least certainly by the beginning of the second week, so you don't get too far behind. And the textbook overview here, this is what what the three editions look like. As I say, get the cheapest copy you can if you're going to get the actual book. So just find the quickest ways, cheapest way to get it. Said Amazon, Chegg, Google it so you can see. Maybe you'll find it in Google. I would not go directly to the publisher unless you're getting an ebook, or talk to our bookstore about getting an ebook if you need to do that. Okay. All right. The next thing, again, is still dealing with the textbook or your purchase options. And I try to put as much information as possible so you can order through the bookstore. You can call the bookstore or go to the bookstore directly and talk and ask them, about the textbook and ordering old editions because you don't want to or again, if they're just trying to sell you new ones, don't buy new because it's just overpriced for 5 or 6 weeks. So don't do that. You can go directly to the publisher here where you can get the ebook and pay. I think it's like probably $30 or something like that. Okay, and then that's the way you go through this process. But again, if you get the third edition, just get the plain third edition. Don't get the Vantage one because we don't use Vantage in this class, it's like a supplemental system that they use with this edition for a special version of it. So don't do that. If you're going to you get a used version of third edition, just get the book by itself. And one of the things, let me tell you about the book that I love is that you'll find here that the book it's actually spiral bound, and it actually has tabs for everything. It's very visual. It's an easy to read book. When first time I saw it, I was really blown away because Christine Barber, who I know fairly well, I love the fact that she put a book like this together, and I wish more majors did this because she simply takes the notion that everybody's not a poli-sci major, and let me give you the basics, and she does it in a very sort of simplistic but really beautiful way. And it's just a really outstanding logic path for creating a textbook. So I think you'll find that you'll enjoy it, and it's a really well done book. Okay. And then I'll show you the syllabus in a second, but the syllabus is here. I'll talk about that in a second. Then there's discuss there. I told you that the discussions are the most important part of the class. So I give you a discussion video here to give you like an overview of the discussions and how to do them and what I'm looking for. So you can click on that and it'll take you through the discussion video. And And this is the other assignment that you have to do is the getting to know each other assignment. And no, it's not mandatory. You don't have to do it, but if you don't do it, it's like if you do it, you can get up, you can get extra credit points, and if you don't do it, you don't get any points. But I don't give extra credit other than this. So when students at the end who need points, I said, well, did you do that? And if you didn't do this, then I'm like, well, those are the points I was trying to give you, but you didn't bother to get them. So it doesn't take long, but I want you to just simply introduce yourself. It just tells you here basically, who tells who you are, why you're taking the class, have you taken online before, just some basic stuff. If you have any interest in politics, there's no right or wrong answer. If you say you hate it, I'm not going to downgrade you. I didn't like it when I was taking it either at first. So, and look at what I'm doing. um, so this just gives you some basic stuff that you just to tell the class about yourself. All right. I will tell you when you're doing this, you don't have to give personal information. Don't give your phone number out. I really am. I'm hard about people bullying other people. So the stuff about etiquette, or when you're doing the discussions and you're talking with other folks, and whether you agree or disagree with them, I do expect you to be respectful. No matter what people are saying, whether it sounds crazy to you or not, they have a right to their opinion. My hope is to try to make sure that we can gain information from the dialogue we have with one another. So if you disagree, it's perfectly fine to disagree. So you can say, I respectfully disagree with you, or I appreciate your opinion, but this is how I see it. And, but I don't want to see any nasty name calling or bullying in my class. I don't tolerate that stuff. So don't do that. And I never have seen it happen yet, but I do have to say it. So just don't put me in a position of having to address that if you would. So thank you very much. Okay. Um, and then that's pretty much it. Let me go back and then I'll show you below here. So actually, I'll keep going. Then I'll go back to the syllabus. So below that, I have here just like the schedule for the 6 weeks. So week one is orientation. Week two, chapters 1 and 2. Week three is by itself. Then the next 2 weeks you have two chapters each week, and then the last week you have chapter 8. So that's the format of the class. I find students like it because it gives them a visual kind of what they need to be focused on each week. And even though everything's open till the end, I don't expect you to wait till the end to complete these assignments. So do try to get to them as soon as you can. And I have structured each one of the modules for each chapter exactly the same way. So it starts off, there's a chapter overview, which starts with the learning objectives for the chapter, and then the lecture. So you'll find here, for example, this is how a little look at each one of them. It tells you what you're supposed to come away with from that chapter, right? So it lays out for the chapter 1 objectives, and then there's a lecture. I'm going to be updating these lectures over the summer because I'm modifying some things. But this is the chapter 1 lecture, and you'll see it in here. So you go through, and just me telling you about chapter 1 and giving you my overview. So the lectures are all built in there for you. There's one of them, I forgot which chapter, where the people said they don't hear it as well, and I'm going to change it, but I'm probably not going to change it till the fall. And then there's also PowerPoints. These are your resources for the chapter. So there's PowerPoints for every chapter, and you can either hit here and download it as a PowerPoint, or you can watch them in here, whichever is easier for you. So it goes through, and you have for this one, there's 30 of them, but you can scroll through here. You can also move this down, make it bigger for yourself, and be able to look at all the different aspects of the chapter. It's a good way to start until you get the book. If you don't have the book yet, you can always use the PowerPoint to start. Now, for me, one of the most important parts of every chapter are the chapter videos. The chapter videos are basically where you get to come in, and I show you a series of videos that I want you to watch to help you sort of gain some knowledge and understanding of the chapter you're looking at. And I like to use the crash course U.S. government. They're like little 7 to 10 minute, 8 minute little video clips about, like, this one's like, why do you study government? And you can click on it, and it comes in, and he comes in, and this guy say, hey, "Hmm, okay, so yeah, he's pretty animated, but it's really interesting because he tells you in a very short way a little bit about each chapter. So I think it's really interesting and fun, and a fun way to sort of address the basics of each of the chapters that we cover. And then usually I'll have an interesting or controversial a little video clip. This one was about talks about is America the greatest country? And that's it. We were in class, so I had some very interesting conversation discussions around it. When what makes a country great, and are we really great? And if we base it on money and military, maybe we are. And if we base it on other stuff, maybe we aren't. And and even if you base it on money, the question is, if so many people struggling to make it these days, maybe we still aren't. So for me personally, I would say what defines a good country is how your people are doing. If your people are struggling and not living well, then you don't get to call yourself a good country. So I don't think there's any really great countries on the planet right now. I think all of them are struggling some. Okay, so from there, again, I'm going to go. Again, they all look the same, but I do want to show you another resource here are the flashcards, and this basically helps you build your vocabulary for each of the for the main words of the chapter. So you can go here like anarchy, turn it over, it'll tell you what anarchy is. You can go to the next one, authoritarian capitalism. You can flip it and see what it is, just to give you a base idea of some of the key terms for each of the chapters, which will help you for the quizzes. And the quizzes are all open book, open notes. So if you take the quizzes, you'll have a certain amount of time to do them. Not a big deal. You just, I say don't try to take them when you if you haven't reviewed the chapter or looked at anything, because that's not going to work for you. But I will tell you, it is good for you if it's going to help you build and have a building and understanding of the class. So make sure you do take them seriously, but don't try them without having reviewed the stuff. Okay. All right. And then the last part of each of these weekly modules, and you see there's two here. There's chapter 1 and chapter 2. So that's obviously because there's two for this particular week. So each one you'll see like week 2 tells you the date, and then if there's 1 or 2 modules, you see that both the modules are here. So, and for the last part of the assignments, so here's the quiz, and I'll click on quiz 1 just so you have an idea what it looks like. Okay, let me go back. Let me go out of here into Mind. I'm going to leave the student view so you can have an idea what the quizzes look like. Okay, I'm trying to see how I'm doing here. I'm running too much time. Okay, so basically, like if I want to run a quiz, the quiz banks basically are very straightforward. So if I want to, like, say if I want to look, this one will pull like 20 questions, and you just go through and answer them. Really, it's just that simple. I mean, you run it, and you get a chance to see it and execute. So I can set as many as I want, but it's 20 questions, and then it randomizes them because there's hundreds and hundreds of questions. So no one will have the exact same quiz. So that's how that works. And then after the quizzes, the other one is obviously what I said is the most important, which are the discussions. And again, when we go to the discussions, you'll see here like discussion chapter 1. Usually what I do, I plug in some videos here that I want you to watch, and then I ask you to answer some questions based on what you watch. Now here, like there's 2 videos. The one was, of course, that you would have watched already on the newsroom, and the other one is what happened in Kent State in 1970. And again, then there's 2 questions that are posed here, and you only have to answer one of them. You don't have to answer both. And in any of the discussions include from this one all the way to the very end, you'll see 1, 2, maybe 3 questions. You only have to answer one of them, not all of them, only one. And the way this works is you have to respond to my question first. And I'm looking for a really solid paragraph of you answering the question, but using the videos and what you've read in the chapter as the basis for your answer. And then from there, what I want you to do is you have to then respond to 3 of your other classmates. So there should be 4 total responses from you for each one of the chapters. And they should be about the same length in each response. So I'm looking for, if you write one sentence and say, hey, George, I agree with you, and you just repeat what George said, that's not going to get you any points. But I want you to look at what George finds. So the trick is just look at, if you have to scan a few of them to find the ones that really give interesting responses, go ahead and scan them, find the ones that look the most interesting to you, and then respond where you know you're going to have enough to say. Because it should be about a paragraph in length, each of your responses, okay? And again, but it's really about quality of information more than quantity. So if what you say is good and important, then I'm going to be really happy with you. Okay. And the discussions are always due on Sundays. You get usually 2 weeks to do them without them being late. Again, since I'm leaving them open all semester, I'm not going to penalize you, but the more relevant, the sooner you get them done, the better it is for everyone because it keeps the information fresh and relevant. If you respond to in chapter one, you don't do chapter one until the 6th week, then nobody's going to care what you wrote because everybody's long past chapter one except you. So don't get behind as much as you can. Try to stay up with this. Okay. That's really important. Okay. Let's see. What else? So that's really the structure of how it looks and through each one of these. They're all structured the exact same way. The resources are here, the assignments are here, and the chapter overview is here. Every single week is set up the exact same way. So I don't have to go through each one of those with you. The assignments, if you want to look at them over here, you can also see them over to your on your tab, and you'll see they're all laid out in here as well. Uh, so you can go in and pick them up as you need to. Uh, I don't know why there's two discussion zeros here, but I will make sure I get rid of one so I don't create confusion. Huh. I'm glad I looked in here. I hadn't looked yet, so now I'm going to take one of these out, but I'll take care of that myself here in a moment. Okay. What else can I show you? Oh, let me show you real quickly the syllabus, and then we're done. So the syllabus, which is right down here, and remember, you're held accountable for the syllabus. So what's in here, you are responsible for. I will open it up because it's here, but I'm going to open it up in the PDF so you can see it. Okay. So it's basically the structure of the class laid out. So basically all the information for the class is here, the CRN of the class, the course number is here, the dates of the class are here, my contact information is here, my phone number is there, so everything's laid out. Tells you the course description, which is laid out in our course outline of record. Student learning outcomes are also laid out here. The course objectives are laid out in here. This is all basic structure stuff. AmGov, long story short, is a textbook. I said any edition. You can use any of them you want. It doesn't have to be the second site here, but the study site is already built in, so that you can click on there to access it, or you can go directly through the links that I showed you already inside of Canvas. The office hours, again, the link is built into the syllabus for the office hours as well if you want to use it here, or you can use what's in Canvas as well. What most people care about is this. This is the grade breakdown and what's sort of expected from you week to week. So there's 160 points for quizzes. So there's basically 20 points. There's 8 chapters we're covering, and there's 20 points a chapter. So that's 160 points. And then there's eight discussions, and they're 40 points apiece. So it's 320 points. Total's 480. And what I do is I always build in the extra the bump up. We don't have a plus or minus system. So for example, normally 90 to 100 would be the A range, and you'd be able, if you got 90, you get an A. For this class, because of the way we structure it, I'd take it at 87 and a half or 88 percentage. So if you get at least an 88 or 87 and a half, you're going to get the A. I round up. If you get 77 and a half, you're going to get a B. If you get 67 and a half, you're going to get a C instead of the D. Okay, so just make sure you know kind of where the numbers are, so you make sure you fall where you want to fall. Hopefully, you'll all be focusing on A's and B's and not on C's and D's. Okay. Um, I don't think anybody purposely says, "Hey, I want to get a D in this class." Anybody wants to do that. Of course, academic honesty, that's a fundamental. I expect you to be able to handle that. The netiquette, of course, again, is how you conduct yourself with respecting your classmates. And then the last thing here is the class schedule, which again is that course roadmap that I showed you before, which shows you week to week what's due and just kind of the roadmap to keep you on track. And that's basically the structure of the syllabus. And I think with that, I think I'm all done with you for this. I will say again, the announcements, when I do have announcements, and I'm going to send one out to you here shortly, I'm going to load that welcome video in here and send it out, but it'll also be available inside of Canvas. And then you'll be able to start tomorrow and start looking through stuff and getting yourself comfortable this first week. And if you want to start jumping in and looking at the PowerPoints for chapter one, try to get a little bit ahead and see what's going on, that's fine. but you won't be able to get there until after you get to the orientation module. So make sure you follow the orientation module, do your thing there, and before you jump into the chapters, okay? All right. I am really excited about this. I look forward to seeing you all, and enjoying this class with you guys. Yeah, like I said, I wish I could meet all of you in person, and but hopefully I can meet you virtually through some of you through Zoom throughout the 6 weeks. And with that, I wish you a really good Sunday evening, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Sorry for the 30 minutes.